Assalamualaikum and very good morning everybody. So everyone, today we are here together in order to do this forum in order to discuss more about topic related to advanced educational psychology. So today me and my team will focus on 4 topics, which is individual variation, diversity, motivation and also classroom management. Without further ado, I would like to introduce my team, our team members. Me myself, I am Siti Norashikin binti Muhammad Jazuli.
I'm Shara Amutam. I'm Bamboo.
We are for here, Forums Advanced Educational Psychology. Before we start, I would like to ask both of you a question. How are you today and how the semester so far?
I'm good today, but for my semester I'm feeling like quite overwhelming. But I feel happy to do my semester, okay, and I feel like I got to know a lot of new things during the semester.
Very excited.
Yes.
Alright. Bamboo, how are you today and how your semester so far?
Well, I feel so great today. Just had breakfast, so delicious. And for this semester, yeah, I think it's stressful a little, yeah.
Alright.
Bye-bye.
Hope everything goes smooth for everybody of us, yeah?
Yeah.
So without further ado, we go for our next slot forum, which is we will discuss on individual variation. When we talk about individual variation, we need to know that human is very spectrum. So everybody have different personality, appearance and also thought. I want to share first regarding this individual variation related to intelligence. Where before this, when we talk about intelligence, I want to give the definition first, which is the ability to solve problems and adapt and learn from experience. Basically, there's a lot of theories about intelligence, but the prominent one is Garner theory. Okay, before this, Garner theory mentioned being called by Garner 8-frame mind. So it have 8 intelligence that been discussed. However, throughout the year, this Garner theories is changed. There are 9 intelligence based on Garner, which is partial, naturalist, music, mathematical logical, extensional, interpersonal, intrapersonal, linguistic and bodily kinesthetic. So Sarah, I just wanted to ask you about this 9 intelligence. What type of intelligence that you think is prominent with you?
As for me, I think I prefer and I can do more good things in verbal linguistics compared to other intelligence, because if I do my exams or if I read the textbooks or anything, I can do better if that is languages, no matter what kind of language. For me, English, Bahasa Melayu and also Tamil. So I can do much better in verbal linguistic, meaning languages, compared to other intelligence.
Alright, okay, Bamboo. Which part or which type of intelligence that you think prominent to yourself?
Well, I think musical intelligence is important than other intelligence for me, because we have musical intelligence, we can gratitude, we can feel the beautiful music, and we can share with each other. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think I be more combined of all. Sometimes I'm more to music also. It depends on the situation. Sometimes I'll become more bodily kinesthetic, where I need to learn through my movement, through the senses. And sometimes that more prominent for me in some situation are intrapersonal and interpersonal. So as we discussed before, intrapersonal intelligence are very good or very prominent to people like us who are involved in counseling and psychology.
Agree with you.
Alright.
Very different kinds of intelligence.
Yes, okay. Now, other than that, about intelligence is what we call emotional intelligence. More of us, a lot of us talking about intellectual intelligence, but don't forget about the emotional intelligence. I read somewhere about one research mentioned, without this emotional intelligence, a person also cannot be success. So if we think about only intelligence IQ without notice about emotional intelligence, we also cannot be fully success in our life. Okay, that's important of intelligence type and also our emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence basically is the ability to perceive and express emotion accurately and adaptively, which is children nowadays very lacking of it. They easily burst with their emotion, right? So besides emotional intelligence also is to understand emotion and emotional knowledge of others, not only about ourselves. Emotion of other people also is important.
Even in counseling, it's very important to understand clients' emotion in order to solve their problem.
So as a psychologist, as a counselor, intrapersonal skill intelligence plus with emotional intelligence are very important.
Correct?
Yeah.
This is the first part of individual variation. So Sarah, Bamboo, I just wanted to ask you one thing. Did you think a child have more intelligence in one time, or they have multiple intelligence in them?
I think children have multiple intelligence where they can perform better. Sometimes they can perform better in languages. Sometimes they can perform better in mathematics. And sometimes one person, let's say student A, can perform better in mathematics, but it's different with the student B. Maybe the student B only can perform in verbal linguistic like I said before. So it's depend on the background, the environmental factors, and also the individual intelligence also. So it is actually brought by the parents and also their circumstances.
Yeah, okay. Bamboo, how do you think?
I agree with Sarah because our intelligence are not divided into different parts. We are an individual. We combine with this intelligence together.
So it's multiple intelligence for a person, for an individual. When we talk about intelligence, also the main important things about the neuroscience, where the intelligence is used the whole part of the brain. Okay, it's not focusing in single part of the brain, but it's involved the frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital lobe. All part of the brain play a role in this intelligence of a person. Like Sarah mentioned just now, Bamboo, like Sarah mentioned, is about intelligence also is about nature and nurture. The individual itself is born with some intelligence, but the environment play important role in their development of intelligence.
That's right.
It's very important for people development, right? So we go straight. We start with Bamboo first. Okay, can you explain further regarding this individual variation in terms of personality and temperament?
Oh, okay, Siti. So for personality and temperament, first, personality and temperament are two key components that shape how individuals think, feel, and behave in the world. And for personality is often described as the distinctive patterns of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that define how an individual adapts to their surroundings. For psychologists, they think they use the big five factors to study personality, which include openness, consciousness, extraversion, liker, sociability, energy, and enthusiasm. Agreeableness involves kindness, cooperation, and trustworthiness. And neuroticism or emotional stability describes how well someone manages stress and emotional challenges. It's like we can use a word ocean to express them.
Ocean.
Yeah. And studies show that for consciousness, it's the strongest personality factor for academic achievement. While the second strongest factor predictor is openness to our experience, which is linked to our creativity, a willingness to learn, and ability to adapt to new environment. For temperament refers to an individual's innate behavioral style and characteristic ways of responding. So temperament is typically present for we are infant, we are a baby. Yeah, and scientists have classified temperament into 3 broad styles. For number 1 is easy children. They tend to have a positive mood. Number 2 is difficult children. They're not easy. They're not easy to communicate with, to cope with. And the number 3 is slow to warm up children. They display high activity levels, somewhat negative attitudes, and minimal emotional intensity. So an important concept in understanding temperament is goodness or fate. For example, when a child with a more difficult environment, and if the environment can give the child a supportive environment, and then the child will be communicated with the environment well and cope with the difficulties well. So both personality and temperament highlight the diversity in how individuals respond to the world, while personality focuses on traits like consciousness and openness to experience that predict adjustment and success. And the temperament emphasizes early behavioral styles that shape how individuals interact with their surroundings.
Okay, that's very good explanations, Bamboo, about the personality and temperaments. I just wanted to ask both of you about this topic, personality and temperament. You can see in your class, your students in the class, those who are leader or those are success in their class are in that personality. Like Bamboo said, the first one, consciousness and openness. Most of them are in this group of personality. Is it correct? Correct? Okay. And then about the temperament, this type of children that success in the schools are those who have the first type of temperament, easy temperament. Is it? Right? So if we have openness and consciousness personality plus with easy temperament skills, meaning that the child is able to perform better in their life. Agree? Okay. Thank you, Bamboo, for the explanation. Then Zara, new names. So Sarah, in order for us to understand further details in this individual variation, can you explain to us the perspective of learning and thinking style?
Okay, sure, Shikin. For my part, I'll explain about learning and thinking style. Okay, the first of all, we see the learning part first. Okay, learning is how the people acquire knowledge. Okay, how they process the knowledge, the information that they acquire, and also how they solve the problem. Okay, there are few factors that affecting the learning, which is cognitive, emotional, and also environmental factors. Okay, now we go for the cognitive preference. Actually, we have 4 kind of cognitive preference. The first one is visual learners, where they prefer images and also graphs, diagrams to acquire knowledge. The second one is auditory learners, where they need something to listen, sound or any speech to acquire knowledge. The third one is kinesthetic, where they need to have the hands-on activity or they need movement, they need sports to acquire knowledge. The fourth one is read or write learners, meaning they need a paragraph or the text to learn, to read and to understand, to acquire knowledge. This is the all about the cognitive preference. The second one is processing style. There is 2, analytical and also global thinkers. Analytical thinkers meaning they need a detailed logic version, which means that in order to convince them, they need correct details the perfect details in order to convince them. Okay, that is what we call analytical thinkers. But for global thinkers, they will see the bigger picture. Okay, overall content, so that they don't go one by one. They will go overall and then acquire the knowledge. Okay, the third one is social preference, meaning how they interact with each other. First one is independent learners. The second one is collaborative learners. Independent learners means they love to work alone. Okay, they cannot be with group study, they cannot be with their friends, they cannot be with their classmates. They love to do their work by themselves. Okay, the second one is collaborative learners, which means that they can work better in groups. They cannot be in by themselves, they cannot do works by themselves. They need someone to accompany them. Okay, the fourth one is motivational orientation, meaning they have here we have two kind of motivation. First one is intrinsic and the second one is extrinsic. Intrinsic means our inner side. The second one is extrinsic, meaning our environmental factors. The first one, intrinsic, meaning you have the curiosity to ask why this happened, how this process goes on, example. And the extrinsic is about the reward, like B.F. Skinner theory that we learn. Okay, we need, the students need rewards, the student needs reinforcement in order for them to perform better. Okay, now we go for thinking. Okay, there is three kind of thinkers. The first one is concrete, the second one is abstract, the third one is creative thinkers. Okay, the concrete thinkers always direct experience. They need a direct experience from something. Let's say they want to attend a netball group. They need someone to show them, convince them, okay, netball activity or netball sports is good, is easy to play, it's fun to play. So that's when they can convince themselves. Okay, the second one is abstract thinkers, meaning they enjoy exploring ideas. Okay, they explore the world. They love to go out with their friends. They love to know something new. Okay, the third one is creative thinkers. Okay, approach problem with innovative. Okay, meaning they approach the problem with one kind of innovation. Okay, they come up with new kind of innovation. Maybe in a group, 4 people will think plan A, but another one, the special one, will think plan B. That is what we call creative thinkers.
Okay, there's 3 types of thinkers. But when we reflect of what Sarah mentioned about the thinking style, I think it reflects also with the Piaget theories, right? If we are looking at what Sarah mentioned just now, it's more to it's involved in the three later stages. It's not involved more on the sensory motor. So how we think style, what thinking style, is either under the concrete and formal operation. So it's involved all the 3s there.
And also ZPD.
ZPD, yes. I also wanted to ask you about that one. Meaning that because you are asking about some children are independent learner, some children are collaborative learner. So if they are individually and some of can be collaborative, we can use this ZPD by Vygotsky in order to have very informative, engaging class setup, right?
Yes. And also the student that needs collaborative learning, they need someone to support them. Okay, collaborative learner and also the extrinsic motivational, meaning they are in one group. Okay, so they need extrinsic motivation and also they are a collaborative learners as well. So they are in same group but 2 different ideas.
That's why ZPD are very good, important to be implemented in the classroom, right? Classroom strategy we will discuss in the last topic. So we finish about our first topics, which is individual variation. Then after this we will go to the second topic. Alright, now second part. We dig further regarding the second topic, which is the socio-cultural diversity. This topic is very interesting because we can get different ideas and thoughts. We have here from Malaysia and also from China. Okay, so we can have diverse cultural idea about this topic. So first, maybe we go for Sarah first, Bebu. Okay, Sarah, can you share with us further about the cultural and ethnicity aspect in education?
Sure, Shigit. Okay, for culture and ethnicity aspects in education, first we need to learn about why we need this kind of discussion in our forum.
Okay.
Because we want people to know about the ethnicity and culture affect the education actually. I as an educator, I seriously feel that this kind of information need to underline, need to be it need to be focused on the students because we are shaping the new generation. Okay, so in order to shape the new generation, shaping educational experiences, okay, and also the outcomes and also the practices in the classroom is very important. Okay, now first we go for learning styles. Okay, in the classroom there is a different preference. Okay, how they engage the information. Different kind of ethnics, different kind of races have different preference in order to engage the information. Okay, they have different styles of learning because their environmental factors are different. Maybe Malay people learn something from their perspective, Indians learn something from their perspective, as well as Chinese. So they have their own way of learning new things in the classroom. The second one is communication styles, and of course communication styles plays an important role because we in classroom usually use Malay language or English language. Okay, but in the classroom, let's say we have Chinese student 5 student, Indian 5 student, and Malay 5 student, let's say. So in order when they are talking to each other, they will use their languages. But when they talk with another races, maybe they can use Bahasa Melayu or English. Okay, the third one is behavioral expectation. Okay, influence attitude. Okay, and also participation and also the collaboration. Sometimes in the classroom they prefer to be in their races because it's very easy and it's very easy for them to understand, to know each other better actually. But I as a teacher, I prefer them to be in group, in multiracial group, so that they can learn new languages. They can use Bahasa Melayu or English in one group. But usually if I ask my student to be in group, they will choose their race first, of course, because they feel comfortable with them. But some of them nowadays they prefer other races as well because they already learn how to adapt a new environment in their classroom. Okay, so it's a very interesting fact that is happening in the schools nowadays. Okay, so the fourth one is values and priorities. Okay, let's say in a group work, okay, they value each other, meaning they value Indian friends ideas, they value Malay friends ideas, and they value the Chinese friend ideas, meaning they accept all the ideas and to come up with one concrete ideas for that kind of group activity. Okay, the fifth one is teaching strategies. Okay, we as a teacher, we need to adapt and understand the student's background, the student's religion, the student culture in order to teach them. Let's say moral language. Moral language obviously non-Muslim will attend, and we need to make them understand. In Malaysia, we have a lot of festivals and also cultural, so they learn something new. Some students, like year 1 student, they don't know about the culture, about the festivals. So when they learn moral subject, they learn a lot in moral subjects actually. They learn about how the Deepavali is celebrated, how the Christmas is celebrated, how the Chinese New Year is celebrated, how the Raya is celebrated. So they come to know new things about the other races and religions as well.
That's important of moral class, you know.
Yes, correct. And also sometimes in assembly, okay, during the Merdeka celebration, we do have slots for this kind of festivals and also religion, in order all the students, because moral, Muslim student, they didn't attend the moral class, so they are missing something. Okay, so in order to complete the missing side, so we in a school, they will arrange slots during the Merdeka celebration for the student, in order to understand the multicultural Malaysia that we are having now. Okay, so after we talk about all of the learning styles, okay, we do have challenges actually in our classroom. First challenges is a language barrier, meaning not all the student can understand English, not all the student can understand Malay. Okay, that is the main barrier for multiracial classroom. Okay, we need to, we as a teacher, we need to identify, okay, if let's say I use English, maybe they are like not understand it very much, maybe I can switch to Bahasa. Maybe I can ask their friends to explain to the student, let's say if they don't understand. Okay, and then cultural misunderstanding, maybe they are not okay with the culture, cultural, so they maybe bully the student. So this may happen in multicultural setting. They can bully about their attire, they can bully the way of eating and so on. So we as a teacher, we need to make them understand why we need to respect each other, why we need to value each other, in order to maintain a good harmony in the classroom. Okay, and also lack of representation in leadership. So in a group, let's say a multicultural, multiracial group, so they always prefer, it's okay, you become leader for this because you can talk Malay very well. It's okay, you become a leader because you can talk English very well. I cannot talk English very well, so I become a group member only.
Follower.
Follower, yes. So this is the challenges that we as an educator facing every day actually. But nowadays I feel very happy because students are actually learning about other races, other culture as well. Because in schools we have a lot of programs. Okay, and also in order we are facing the challenges, of course we have opportunities too. So learning through the diverse perspective make the students to understand each of them better, even teachers, and then teachers also can understand about their culture and also their way of living. So if we have a multiracial community in one school, we can learn better, we have opportunity to learn about them and to make other students understand about multicultural too.
That's very good explanation about the multicultural and ethnicity. I just wanted to share one of my friends who have, like what Sarah mentioned is about multicultural in Malaysia. My friends is experienced both Malaysia and overseas style of study, and she herself see the difference, so much differences in these two culture, Malaysian and overseas, where she can become, maybe for her the overseas style of teaching is appropriate for her, and she can become the best students at that area on that particular time compared than in Malaysia. That's important. We need to study other culture also in order to enhance our students' performance. Me myself, okay, like our group, not only Malaysian and Chinese, we also have 3 different races. This is very multicultural group, multicultural forum. So I also experienced differences in culture, learning with Sarah, learning with Bamboo, where I took every good things from them in order for me to become better in myself. Sarah again, Bamboo. What do you experience working with other members in the group so far? Not because for this forum, during in the class. What experience you overcome or you experience about this multicultural? Because this is your first time studying outside, right? So what do you think about the multicultural?
Well, for me, like in our class, we are different countries. At first, maybe we cannot will communicate with each other to understand the language, the Malaysian language. It's a little difficult. However, after some time, we can understand, we can communicate with each other, and during the leader of our doctor, we can change our opinions about different topics like educational policy or other like religious philosophy, etc. I think it's so interesting. We learn a lot about the different culture, different food, delicious food. Yeah, I like much.
Yeah, I think the best part when we learn about the multicultural is we need to respect other people.
Yes.
Regardless what culture they are come from, regardless what ethnicity they come from, we need to respect people. That's the most important thing. Okay, now your turn, Bamboo. Okay, I just wanted to ask you, can you share about multicultural education and maybe you can relate with your experience in China?
Okay, great. I think for last question, I want I want to add. I think curiosity and we want to learn from each other. We want to understand, communicate with each other. The motivation is very important. Yeah. Okay. For this topic, multicultural education is an approach to learning that values diversity and includes the perspectives of various cultural groups on a regular basis. It means for multicultural education, it can help us to understand and to appreciate different cultural differences. Not only does it benefit students from minority groups, but it also enriches the educational experience for everyone involved. For me, I'm a Chinese student. For China, we have different nationalities. We have 56 nationalities. Very large nationalities. Yeah. And for everyone, for every nationality, all our children, we have the equal opportunity to accept the education. It's not easy for our country.
Agree.
And for me, for myself, I want to discuss more about my experience in Malaysia. I remember last semester I'm in Malaysia. The first class, the class is about counseling ethics, and I'm the only Chinese student of this class. Our other classmates, 12 classmates, they are all Malaysian students. At first, I feel a little nervous. I feel successful because our doctor, she is so excellent, and our classmates, they are all excellent, and they can speak English so fluently. At first, I feel so difficult. However, my doctor and my classmates, they are so friendly, and they they want to make me understand fully, and sometimes they speak a little slowly, and they explain for me, and later I become so familiar with our class, and I feel fitting the class, and we communicate different countries, Malaysia, Chinese, about the counselor policies, about ethics, and the different cases. We change our opinions, we communicate with each other. I think it's a very important experience about the multicultural education. The understand the love is very important, and the curiosity about different country is important, and respect every person is important.
Bamboo, before you continue, I get one of your words just now, which is fit in. Fit in.
Yeah.
That's very important for every children's in the class, where from different culture and ethnicity, to be feel they are belong in the class.
Yeah.
Then they can work more in order to engage with the education. Yes.
correct.
So
Right.
fit in very important.
Every person they want to be seen by others, so respect is important.
Yes, feeling accepted.
Yeah, seeing the person is important.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yes, continue. Bamboo.
My another experience about the educational psychology. In the beginning of our class, at first, first our class has so little person only.
6 or 7.
But we are different countries,
Mhm.
and we are different nationalities. We have different religions,
Yeah.
and later, we communicate with each other because we can see our different needs, our different backgrounds, and then we can understand with each other. We know more with each other, and we want to learn from each other.
Yeah.
So later, we can fit in. We all can fit in our classroom.
Yes, agree.
Our doctor is very important.
Yeah, the supervisor.
I think
yeah?
I think we all already fit in our classroom.
Yes,
It's not
yes.
mistake.
Yes.
And you do a lot for our class.
we do whatever needs. Is there anything else you want to talk about this multicultural education, Bamboo? Did you want to continue?
I want to make a conclusion. In summary, multicultural education fosters in including religious cultural gaps and provides opportunities for personal and intellectual growth. By incorporating culturally relevant teaching, promoting equity-focused discussions, creating spaces for meaningful interactions among diverse groups, it prepares students to navigate an increasingly interconnected world. My personal journey has shown me just how valuable and impactful multicultural education can be. I believe every student can get a lot from a multicultural education. That's all.
Alright, thank you, Bamboo, for your explanation, for your sharing. Then I go into another topics in multicultural, which is this is very important also when we talk about the gender differences. Okay, but earlier topic when we talk about the intelligence, about the gender, there's no difference actually in terms of intelligence. But in our country, in our world, they have one thing that we call gender stereotype. You know, this gender stereotype is a broad categories that reflect impressions and belief about behavior is appropriate for female or for male. So that one is very stereotype, you know. When we talk about male is stronger. When we talk about male is a leader. So we are not a racist right now. We are not a feminist right now. But we just talk it in terms of general of gender stereotype or gender differences. Other than that, if we talk about gender, there also mentioned about like in terms of brain. neuroscience inform that female brain are smaller than male brain. And then it's mentioned about, if we talk about physical performance, male is stronger, is fit compared than female. And then when we talk about mathematics and science, male is more than female. However, when we talk about verbal skill and educational attainment, that goes to female. Anything that involve relationship and pro-social behavior, more on emotion, is more towards female. So we can see here, when it's involved emotion, is relate or look more toward the female. However, when we look about the physical sides, like say aggression, very aggressive physically, is more toward male. Females is more aggressive in terms of verbal and emotion. So that's a difference, gender differences, and also some of the stereotype that happens in our culture right now. What we need to do is, I remember once, Sarah mentioned with us before about these gender differences, what you wanted to do for this gender differences role, kan? So basically, teachers and students interaction is important in order to break these gender differences. So we need to have balance, and also in the curriculum, maybe in the class education, we need to put some knowledge or information about the similarity of the genders. Okay, so that everybody, like Bamboo said, for educational, we want to give the equal opportunity for everybody. Sarah, you want to share with our friends what is your story about the gender roles leadership?
Yeah, sure, Shikin. So I just want to, today I just thought just now while Shikin is speaking, I think this is about our perception actually. So some people think that male is more more suitable for leader compared to female. Why? Because of the maybe the male can perform better, the male can think wisely. I didn't say that women cannot think wisely, but women more to emotion side, meaning let's say there is a story, like there is an incident happening in school. Okay, let's say there is a bullying case in the school. Maybe if the leader, if the leader is girl, maybe she can react faster than a male leader. Maybe she can, why you bully this student? This student is very petty. Maybe this one is a female side. Okay, because she is angry towards the incident that is happening. But let's say that one is the leader is boy. Maybe the boy can think, why this bullying is happening? Is it true the case is happening or not? So the one that reporting to you is can be trustable or not? Okay, so the male, maybe that's why people are encouraging the male to become a leader. Maybe because they are reacting like slow and steady. They just need to know which one is better. But female normally they act emotionally. Maybe because of that, people in our Malaysia and also our world, our globally, they prefer male to be a leader. But somehow nowadays things change. Okay, woman can be a good leader too nowadays. So in my school, previously I had an experience where teachers supported male student to become leader, but female student is actually perform better than the male student. But lastly, another group of teachers won, meaning the female student become and the male student become a leader, like around 5 years back. But recently in my school, they do consider about this suggestion, and they appointed a leader, female leader, girl leader, as a leader for the students. So meaning that the world is changing.
The stereotype
Yes, the stereotype is changing, and also their perspective on the male and also male and woman, male and girl are changing actually. Maybe before this they already pointed the boy student as a leader. Maybe he didn't do well. Maybe there is no changes. Okay, maybe he didn't perform well as a leader. But that's why they want to give a chance for the girl as a leader. Maybe after this, if she perform well, then their perspective will change. Okay, if they can do the comparison. Before this boy become a leader, so there is nothing changed. The school is same, the problems are same, the problems are increasing. But later, after 5 years, when I appointed the girl as a leader, there is a lot of changes, like positive side changes. So the whole community in the school, maybe they can think, okay, it is good actually the girl can perform well compared to male. The girl can do also. It's not about boy or girl. It's about the work that they do. It's about the performance capability to handle the situation, to handle the students. Because the leader student is very important in order to organize the leaders as well. So the leader need to be very strict, very think wisely to take one decision. And actually the leader is also helper for teachers. So they need to be like, let's say teacher ask them or ask him for the help. So the student need to be ready for helping the teachers. So this kind of characteristic should be in the leaders board. So for my opinion, there will be like certain things which people say that okay, male is better than this, female is not better. But nowadays things are changing and it's already changed, and I'm glad for that.
No, Sarah, I just wanted in the forum. I just wanted to thank my schools back then. In 1994, Sekolah Kebangsaan Penghulu Salin. I think they start with gender stereotype. They break the gender stereotype at that time in 1994, when I became the first students leader in the school back then in 1994. Thank you teachers in Sekolah Kebangsaan Penghulu Salin. That's my teachers. So during that time, I become the first girl that become the students leader at the schools. Okay, some acknowledgement. So, Ben Wengu, a little bit about your experience. You have any experience about gender differences in China also?
Yeah, right. In fact, gender stereotypes do exist in China's education system, and they influence not only how children are perceived, but also the opportunities and choices throughout their lives. First, gender stereotypes often stem from traditional gender roles which dictate how boys and girls are expected to think, to feel, and to behave. For example, in many parts of China, especially next school, it was common to hear people say, girls don't need to accept too much education, and they think maybe girls, their main responsibility is to care for the family. This belief limited the girls' opportunities, particularly in rural areas. For example, when I was a middle school student, I was in a middle school in countryside. And for our grade, the 9th grade, we have about 180 students. Most of the students are boys. And for me, for my classmates, I remember one girl, she needed to do a lot of housework. And in the morning, at about 5 a.m., she need to get up and to do the breakfast and do a lot of housework to wash for her all families. And then she finished this and then she go to school. And after the evening class, maybe about 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. and then she go back to her house, and then she also need to do a lot of housework. Maybe my classmates, my girl classmates, they need to do a lot of housework. And after the exam to end in high school, only few girls can enter into the high schools. And for my another experience, it is second, while intelligence shows no gender difference in overall ability, stereotypes persist in specific areas like math and science means many people they think boys are smarter than girls. However, in fact, we know the Gardner he discussed about different intelligence of human, and for me, for my own experience, I remember when I was a little girl, my grandpa often said, "Your brother is smarter than you," and if he study hard, he will get a greater grades than you. And then I think, oh, I feel so. I don't believe.
Now you prove it.
And then I work hard. However, when I grew up, I find I don't want to compete with my brother. I don't want to be compared with others. We are different person, different individual, and we have different intelligence in our own path. So maybe for me, I just want to learn. I like to read books. I want to pursue more degrees. I want to learn more. However, maybe for my brother, his practical skills is better. So I think everyone is different. Like Denmark, the education is so different. It's so top in the world because the educators they encourage every child they can become themselves. It's very important. And lastly, even though education for girls has greatly improved in modern China, however, gender inequality resurfaces in adulthood. For instance, after the age of 30, many Chinese girls they need to face the situation to balance our families and our work. Means they need to select one path because they need to care for the children. They also need to do better in their work. It's so difficult for them. But males they don't need to face the same situation. Fortunately, now in China, many fathers they become to realize they also need to do some housework. They also need to care for their children because the family is their common family. They also need to do their part of their responsibility. And I think, in conclusion, I think for male and female, we are not compete with each other. We cannot compare with each other. We can combine with each other, and then we can create the world better.
Actually, we got a lot of great information in this second topic. Thank you, Bamboo and Sarah. Actually, for us here in this topic of multicultural differences and also gender differences, it's not about see the differences, more towards see it in terms of we can work together
Yeah.
in order to embrace everybody. Okay, thank you for the second slot. So we are finished about this first part of Advanced Educational Psychology Forum. We covered the individual differences and multicultural diversity. So we'll meet you all at the second part of this forum, where we will cover the motivational and classroom management for the students.